Hi, today our topic is sales and operations planning in supply chain management. So let's see what it is and how does we have to develop a S&OP plan for a successful supply chain management. Sales and operation planning, which is called S&OP, is a process which includes an updated forecast that leads to a sales plan, production plan, inventory plan, customers lead time or backlogs plan, new product development plan, strategic initiative plan, and resulting financial plan. So this is the major planning process in a supply chain management, and this plan frequency and planning horizon depends on the specific of the industry. It could be for 1 month, for 6 months, for 1 year. So it depends upon the what in which industry you are. As we have mentioned earlier, that it is a business management process which involves the functioning together to manage the future supply chain as efficiently as possible, and then maximizing the revenue by planning ahead to ensure that customers' orders are met as efficiently as possible. So first is the efficiency, and then to meet the customer's order. Taking prediction about sales and peaks and troughs in future demand, and identified the impact that will have on future production, supply chain, logistics, and finance. So it starts with the sales forecast, its low point and high points in the demand, and then identifying how it will impact on our production capacity and logistic and our financials. Then engaging all parts of business including the chief executive. So it is like a hierarchy of sales and operation planning is that we involve from chief executives to the down bottom tactical or operational people who are involved in the business on floor. Give sales greater transparency over what products will be available to sell and when. So it will improve our visibility, and transparency mean accuracy of the things what we have available to sell. Um, it requires detailed forecast of predicted sales so that rest of the business can respond correctly to the fulfill deals made by the sales department. So basically, as its name shows, it is the operation planning which is meeting our sales requirement. So for this reason, we need a detailed forecast from our sales department so we can meet their requirement in the field or in the market. As I have already mentioned, the purpose or the requirement or the importance or the process of sales and operation planning, it is more crucial in business which have to physically make and ship products to customers, and it's a necessity part of life of all businesses. So it has more relevance to the manufacturing industry where we made the thing tangibly, we make the things and we sell the things there. So S&OP has a number of benefits for sales department and the company as a whole. It increases transparency, it develop product with more information about demand, provide more information for all team about product life cycles, gives everyone more information to allow for better budgeting and forecasting. So basically whole our planning of operations depends upon this sales and operation planning. As we have mentioned or discussed that it is very important planning process in a business to have a profitable business and have a satisfied customers, and which should be more efficient or effective. So we should know how we have to develop a sales and operation plan process. So there are numerous different models you can use for S&OP, but some of which are extremely complex. Here I'm giving some simple steps to create or to develop a operation and sales and operation planning plan. So number one is forecasting, then demand planning, then supply planning, then pre-SOP, S&OP, executive S&OP, and then implementation. So these are the basic steps we will discuss one by one in the next slides. So like I mentioned already, steps in developing a sales and operation planning process are forecasting, demand planning, demand supply planning, pre-SO S&OP meetings, then executive S&OP meetings, and then finalize and then implement. So these are the basic steps. In next slides we are going to explain these steps which are here. You can see them. So we start with forecasting. So number one step is that start out with sales forecasting. This involves looking at all usual elements of a sales forecast, like historical data, strength of the pipeline, new products entering in the market, time of the year, which time we are planning, and the weather and any major upcoming events. So once you have got the sales forecast, that allows you to identify the level of demand in your supply chain. So for this is the basic steps, and it is very important that we have close to accurate forecasting upon which we are building all this operation planning to meet our sales demand. So as I have told you that this sales forecasting give us that and help us to identify the demand. So a cross-organizational team of operations, sales and finance should get together to work out how much demand these will be for your products and where and when it is going to occur. So we have to sit together from all over the organization, people from different from operation, from sales and from finance to check, to analyze this demand and then plan about that. So you can use this period to match up historical demand data against sales forecast and check that the two match up. So we are analyzing when we are planning demand, that what is our past data and the future data, and then we synchronize or align these things to make the demand planning. So after demand planning, we go toward the other side, which is supply planning. So it is time to assess that what supply capacity you have and how it matches up against predictive demands, where and when is production going to occur, and how does that match up to the anticipating demand, and how can two will be reconciled. So like first is our forecast of the sales, then analyzing of demand and plan it, and how it will come out, how it will be there, and then we will going to plan supply planning, and then we are matching both of them. So we will be working more efficiently and effectively to satisfy our customer and also increase the revenue for our organization. So after working on the demand planning and supply planning, we will meet another time to see that what kind of barriers we might face in during the implementation or during the working of that plan. So this is a stage at which all factors are brought together, and at this point where it makes sense to identify the barriers to meet demand and finance implications of reconciling the two. So basically we are synchronizing our demand, our supply and demand. So, and we have to create a flexible plan to meet the ups and the downs of our demand. So we are going to match vis-a-vis supply with our demand. Does the business need to bring on board more staff, a new supplier, or allocate more resources to transport are to, basically we will see what kind of things we need. So how do the budget for these things match up against the anticipating financial projections? So we can also do the um, a cost revenue analysis per expenditure, and and a kind of cash flow that we will have to make to meet all these requirement of a sales and operation plan. The next step is executive sales and operation plan. As its name shows, at this stage the projections are considered by the executive team, all scenarios are considered, and the plan gets signed off. So if everything is good, accordingly, and there's no issues in that, then we will sign off the planning phase of the sales and operation plan, and then we go to the next step is the implementation. So after everything is done, so we will go to the last phase, and that is practical phase of sales and operation planning, which is implementation. So and if we have any data, more data, so we will keep it for our next round of this process. And this is, I try to explain, this is a simple and way of developing a sales and operation planning. Even it is not so simple, or it is very complex, and we need a lot of details and lot of accuracy and lot of collaboration among different departments of the organization to develop a very successful S&OP plan. So again, it is just for the beginners. So as you will start doing it, you will learn more and more, and on maybe some ground realities are maybe different than what we are teaching here, but it is the roadmap for you to walk on with your other experiences and different from different industries. Again, if you have any question or you think there is any shortcoming in this lecture, please let me know. So I will be glad to answer your questions. Again, thank you for your time, and and I hope you learn from this lecture and apply this to in your practical work. Thank you again.